Thank you, Gary. Our opening words this evening are from The Meaning of Christmas by Lenny Scovel. Why Christmas? Especially to one who doubts, are you not being hypocritical? Unitarian Universalists, with their penchant for secular humanism, are fond of arguing the validity of Christmas. Is it a Christian holiday, a pagan holiday, a secular holiday? Even outside my UU circles, there is much apathy about Christmas. It's just another day, I've heard quoted by many. I know all this, and I don't care. I love Christmas, always have and always will. It fills me with nostalgia and generosity and goodwill. And as far as the meaning of Christmas is concerned, as a Unitarian Universalist, I believe it is part of our spiritual maturation to look for and assign meaning to all the days of our lives. In this, Christmas is the high water mark of the year, a time when the world slows and considers our relationships with each other. Isn't that in itself enough to celebrate? Worthy of decorations, lights, music? The gifts we give each other at this time of year are more than just a demonstration of generosity. They are symbols of the gifts that we are capable of giving on all the other days of our lives. Gifts of love, compassion, industry, advocacy, the gifts of common humanity. These were the values of Jesus, the true Christian values. And if, as Unitarian Universalists, we need to reconcile the language of Jesus as the Savior in celebrating Christmas, can we not acknowledge that through his ministry of compassion, he was in effect our Savior by showing us the way to save ourselves? Now, for a bit of our UU Christmas heritage. As we close out 2025, the year that marked the 200th anniversary of the founding of the American Unitarian Association, we wanted to take a few minutes to reflect on the important role that Unitarians and Universalists, and ultimately Unitarian Universalists, UUs, played in creating what we think of as the holidays in the United States. And as members of the faith tradition that have done throughout history, we are not surprised to learn that the denomination's shared values and strong principles have helped to shape traditions both inside Unitarian Universalism and out. It's true that Unitarian Universalists played an integral role specifically in influencing how the Christmas holiday is celebrated, or even that it is celebrated at all. During the 17th and most of the 18th centuries, the English Puritan settlers who colonized New England had been largely successful in eliminating Christmas as a festival. But starting in the late 18th century, first the Universalists, and then the Unitarians reintroduced it to the region. Largely a rural sect, Universalists openly celebrated Christmas from the earliest stages of their existence in New England. The Universalist community in Boston held a special Christmas Day service in 1789, even before the congregation was officially organized. And in the early 19th century, it was this denomination that proselytized for Christmas more actively than any other. The Unitarians were close behind. Unitarians were calling for the public observance of Christmas by about 1800. They did so in full knowledge that it was not a biblically sanctioned holiday, and that December 25th was probably not the day on which Jesus was born. They wished to celebrate the holiday not because God had ordered them to do so, but because they themselves wished to, and they celebrated it in the hope that their own observance might help purge the holiday of its association with seasonal excesses and disorder. Tonight, we will be exploring some of our historical connections with Christmas in America, beginning with the Christmas scenes in Little Women. Unitarian Louisa May Alcott wrote over a dozen Christmas-themed stories and poems in addition to the Christmas themes in Little Women. Her description of a holiday with the March family in 1868 nurtured a growing sense of American nostalgia for a Christmas only newly imagined. Our opening hymn tonight is number 245 in the Gray Hymnal, Joy to the World. Please rise in body or spirit and join me for all three verses, the words of which are also on the screen. Welcome to you on this beautiful evening. My name is Donna Zimmerman, and I'm a member of the worship team that together will bring you this Christmas Eve service here at Buckman Bridge Unitarian Universalist Church. We are grateful to you on this holy night for your presence as we gather in this sacred space to celebrate the mystery of the season and the warmth of community, the lights and decorations that twinkle, and the songs that touch our memories, the food that is special, and the family and friends who bring us happiness. Whether you have journeyed long to be here or have just stepped inside from the cold, or not so cold tonight, you are welcome. Whether your heart is full of joy or heavy with longing, you are welcome. Our service tonight will be a tapestry of music and words, some joyful, some reflective, with a little bit of Unitarian Universalist Christmas heritage included. For now, let's stop the rush, take a breath, and allow the spirit of the season to enter us and quiet us. Tonight, we honor the ancient story of a birth in a stable, a story of hope, radical love, and the light that shines in the darkness. As Unitarian Universalists, we find meaning in this birth as a reminder of the inherent worth of every child and the hope and promise of what they will bring into the world. As we light our candles and lift our voices, may the spirit of Christmas settle within you, reminding you that you are not alone. Let us worship together in love. We also ask that you please don't light your candles and hold them until we sing our final song, Silent Night, together. After the service, you are invited to stay for the holiday reception and enjoy the fellowship and tasty treats that have been made with love and given to share. As we prepare to light our chalice and Advent candles this evening, you may be interested to know that the Unitarian Service Committee, now called the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, adopted the flaming chalice as their logo in 1941 during World War II. The inspiration came from the chalices of oil burned on ancient Greek and Roman altars. It became an underground symbol in occupied Europe during the war for those assisting Unitarians, Jews, and other people to escape the Nazi persecution. Years later, in 1965, at the West Shore Church in Cleveland, Ohio, the youth-led Christmas service opened by ritually lighting a chalice. This is the first time the chalice was used in this way, except for the children's classes and youth gatherings where the practice actually began. Will David Dean please come forward to light our chalice and then followed by the Advent candles? And now we light our chalice, a symbol of Unitarian Universalism. May the light of our chalice this Christmas Eve remind us of the growing love within the heart. May the carols we sing uplift our spirits and renew our hope and vision. May the special moments we spend with family and friends strengthen the bonds of caring between us at this time and throughout the coming year. For each of the last 4 Sundays, we've lit candles on the Advent wreath. Each light was a step into the darkness towards the turning of the year, leaning in expectation into all that is being born in us at this holy time of year, when the unknown lies before us, rich with possibility. Tonight we light the Advent candles for the last time this year. We light the first candle for hope, for that which is best in us to rise and enliven our souls and our relationships. The second candle we light for peace, for the courage to soften what is rigid in our hearts and to find the soft spot and stay with it. We light the third candle in the name of joy, joy in the shape of gratitude for all that is in our life, and joy in the expectation of the world that we are building and creating with one another. The last candle is lit in the name of love as the creating force of our life. And finally, tonight, we light the central candle, the light that shines in the darkness with the full power of our faith. We know, says UU Minister Reverend Bill Sinkford, how real the brokenness of the world is, but we will not give brokenness the last word. May this light bear our hopes as well as our faith in love, in goodness, in compassion, in justice. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness shall not overpower it.
See us end of the starry light. Unitarian Charles Dickens had an impact on the way Christmas is celebrated today more than any other individual. A Christmas Carol, written in 1843, has been credited with popularizing everything from turkey dinners and family gift exchanges to holiday bonuses. Less obvious, but still immensely influential, is the book's story of one man's redemption, which Dickens pointedly shows being accomplished apart from the work of God or church. So while it is a ghost story and Scrooge is helped by supernatural beings, the help itself is not supernatural at all. Please turn to hymn number 224, Let Christmas Come, in your gray hymnals. The words can also be found on the screen. Please rise in body or spirit, and we'll ask Gary to play this one time through, and then we'll join him in singing both verses. Here is the Christmas story. It happened a very long time ago in a land far away. A man and a woman named Joseph and Mary had to make a journey to the city of Bethlehem because there was a new law that said everyone had to return to the city where they were born to pay their taxes. Joseph was worried about Mary taking this trip as she was going to have a baby very soon. But Mary wanted to be with her husband for the birth of their first child. It was a long trip to Bethlehem, 3 full days of walking. Mary was glad when they saw the rooftops of Bethlehem in the distance. "Joseph," she said, "let's stay at the first inn we come to. I think our baby is almost ready to be born." But when they got to Bethlehem, they found the little town crowded with people. They stopped at the first inn they came to and knocked on the door, but the innkeeper told them, "I'm sorry, there's no more room here." At the next inn, the innkeeper said, "We're full. Try the place 3 streets over. It's bigger." Joseph tried another place, but everywhere it was the same story. "Sorry, no room for you here." Finally, when it was almost nighttime, they saw a house at the edge of town with a light in the window. Joseph knocked at the door and told the innkeeper, "Please help us. We need a place for the night. My wife is going to have a baby soon, and I don't think she can travel any farther." And the innkeeper said, "There's no room in the inn, but don't worry, we'll find some place for you." The innkeeper showed Mary and Joseph to a quiet little barn where the animals were. It was clean and warm and smelled like sweet hay. And on that very night, in that barn in Bethlehem, their little baby was born. It was a boy, and they named him Jesus. Mary and Joseph wrapped him in the soft swaddling cloth and made a little bed for him in the hay. That night, Like every other night, there were shepherds in the fields outside Bethlehem watching the flocks of sheep. The shepherds were surprised and amazed that night by a very bright light in the sky and a strange song coming from nowhere and everywhere all at once. They were angels, and they were glorious. After sharing the joyous news, the angels went to see the baby born in a stable in the city of Bethlehem to tell him hello. What a beautiful baby. After the angels had gone away, the shepherds remembered what they had said, that a wonderful baby had been born and that they could find him by following the brightest star in the sky. So the shepherds all said to each other, "Let's go look for that baby." They had no trouble finding the stable because of the bright star, and sure enough, there inside were Mary and Joseph watching over their little baby, Jesus. And the shepherds saw that Jesus was just stunning. "Oh, what a beautiful child!" Then the shepherds went away and told everyone what they had seen. On this same night, 3 wise ones saw the bright star and said to each other, "Look at the amazing star. It must be shining for something very special." The wise ones loaded up their camels with treasures and traveling supplies and followed the star all the way to Bethlehem. Jesus was only a few days old when the wise ones found him, but they knew he was special. What a wonderful child! This child will be our teacher. And they gave the baby gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Mary and Joseph wondered for a long time about all of these things that happened when their child was born. It's astonishing that all these people would come to see our baby and give us presents for him. They don't even know him. When Jesus grew up, he was a courageous teacher, just like the wise ones said. And one of the most important things he tried to teach people was to love each other and to treat all people, even strangers, with kindness and care. And people who have tried to follow his best teachings have become better people and have spread light through their world, which is what we are here to do. Tonight, we shared the Christmas story about one special baby. But this baby isn't the only special one. Every child is a treasure, a wonder, and a miracle. And as they grow up, they are always and forever a treasure, a wonder, and a miracle. Please hear these words excerpted from Each Night a Child is Born is a Holy Night by Sophia Lyon Fahs, an author, teacher, and religious activist who lived from 1876 to 1978. She led a revolution in Unitarian religious education, focusing on experiential learning to enable children to develop their own ideas about religion and spirituality. You may know that one of our classrooms is named after her. Here are her words. "For so the children come, and so they have been coming. Always in the same way they come, born of the seed of man and woman. Each night a child is born is a holy night. Fathers and mothers sitting beside their children's cribs feel the glory in the sight of a new life beginning. Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping."
I want to introduce this song from the position of milkmaids. This is a legend from the south of France. Milkmaids came Christmas Eve to the barn to get milk, and they found Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. And they said, "This is a child in here. What is going on?" And they ran to the village and they said, "Come, bring a torch. What is going on here?" Anyway, that's the story of this.
The Christmas story is not just the story of the birth of a child, magnificent though that occasion be. Sometimes we are so enthralled with the inn and the manger, the shepherds and the angels, that we fail to notice the other great themes which weave in and out of this tale. The Christmas story is, for instance, a story of sisterhood. After she has conceived by the Holy Spirit, Mary spends 3 months in the company of the elderly Elizabeth, whose own womb also has been mysteriously filled. The two women greet each other with rejoicing and sustain each other in the wonder of their circumstances. The Christmas story is a story of sisterhood. And it is a story of glory coming to the poor. Whatever the exact nature of their material state, Mary and Joseph are hardly people of wealth or power. That God should choose them to be the agents of this holy moment is intimation that Jesus' mission will be a revolutionary one. The Christmas story is a story of promise come to the poor. And it is a story of the wisdom of women. When the shepherds come upon the stable and report the prophecy of the angel that a deliverer has been born, all who hear them are astonished, except Mary. Mary knows. But Mary, says Luke, kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. The Christmas story is a story of woman's revelation. And it is a story of civil disobedience. For Herod instructs the wise men to find the child's location and report it to him. But the wise men, warned in a dream that they should not return to the king, present their gifts and depart into their own country another way. The Christmas story is a story of defiance and courage. And it is the beginning of a story of exile and of triumph. For when they learn of Herod's intention to destroy their child, Mary and Joseph flee with the babe into Egypt, and then, with Herod's death, return to dwell in Nazareth. The Christmas story begins with a story which has changed the world. It is important not to read this story narrowly, but rather to feel its texture and discern its breadth. It is indeed the bearer of many messages. May more and more of them be disclosed to us. For the more of them we recognize, the more we may ponder the meaning of this season in our hearts. May it be so. And now, some more UU Christmas heritage info to share. It Came Upon the Midnight Clear was written in 1849 by Unitarian minister Hamilton Sears while recovering from a nervous breakdown. The melancholy carol's conspicuous omission of any reference to Jesus or his birth has drawn criticism from Orthodox Christians. Ironically, among Sears' Unitarian contemporaries, his theological ideas about Jesus were considered rather old-fashioned. Won't you join me in singing this hymn, which is number 244 in your gray hymnals, and the words will also be shown on the screen. Please rise in body or spirit.
Touch their hearts of gold.
the whole world sent out a song, which now the angels sing.
Let's continue with some of our UU Christmas heritage tidbits. In 1855, the first English translation of O Holy Night by Unitarian minister John Sullivan Dwight, who tweaked the original French author's socialist themes and images to advance Dwight's own abolitionist cause. And not only was the French author a socialist, but he also declared himself an atheist and had it set to music by a Jewish composer, factors that led the French clergy to ban the carols used in worship. Our next story takes place amid the anxiety of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. Unitarian Noel Renier wrote, "Do you hear what I hear?" as a protest song, but the allusions to the Bible stories of Jesus' birth are so strong that recording artists and the public have always associated it with Christmas. Did you know that Jingle Bells was first performed for Thanksgiving by the Sunday school children of the Unitarian Church in Savannah, Georgia? Under the leadership of the church music director, the song's composer, James Pierpont, Jingle Bells was published in 1857, but only gained widespread popularity after it was performed in 1934 by Bing Crosby. I heard the bells on Christmas Day. With our roots in popular Christmas carols, another composer, Unitarian poet, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, wrote Christmas Bells in 1865, just months before the end of the Civil War. The poem captures the despair felt by the nation after years of war. Drawing on his own experience of having hope restored after tragedy, the final verse celebrates the resilience of people who endure all manner of grief and misery, yet find ways to confidently hope toward a day of peace on earth. The poem Christmas Bells was later set to music and renamed I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. So I invite you to turn to hymn number 240 in your gray hymnals and rise in body or spirit to sing all 5 verses of I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. The words will also be shown on the screen. Did you know that Clara Barton, Universalist and founder of the American Red Cross, is our hero of our liberal religious faith? We remember her around the holidays since she was born on Christmas Day in 1821. But in the season when we recall an army of angels proclaiming peace on earth, it seems right to recall one whose life and legacy have done much to realize the angel's message, who was herself known as the angel of the battlefield because of her work in the front lines during the Civil War and providing managing care for the wounded. Unitarian minister Charles Follen delighted his son and party guests in 1832 with a Christmas tree as he had growing up in Germany. Follen postponed the festivities until New Year's so that British author and Unitarian Harriet Martineau could attend. Her published account of the party, perhaps presumptuously, declared the event to be America's introduction to the Christmas tree and accurately predicted the future popularity of this custom. Founded by Unitarian Nathaniel Currier in 1834, the Currier and Ives printing firm published an annual set of winter images, scenes of snowfall fights, horse and sleigh races, and children ice skating. And they wooed Americans into a love affair with the idea of snow-covered New England holiday. The 1950 choral arrangement of Sleigh Ride attests to the spot these illustrations hold in our modern American canon. Hans Christian Andersen, in 1835, the man he loved married a woman. Danish Unitarian Hans Christian Andersen wrote one of his first and most beloved fairy tales of a mermaid's tragic, unrequited love. His timeless tales include several Christmas classics such as The Little Match Girl, The Fir Tree, and The Snow Queen. The song Over the River and Through the Woods is based on a poem by Unitarian author and human rights champion Lydia Maria Child, written in 1844. It was an inspiration for the poem, came from her own childhood memories of Thanksgiving at her grandparents' house. As Unitarians and others started to revive and reimagine Christmases, the distinctively Yankee tradition of Thanksgiving became the template they followed in establishing how Christmas would be celebrated. I'd like to share with you all a reading this evening from Erin Powers, Director of Religious Education at the UU Church of Tampa for the past 13 years. And it's entitled Wired for Connection, and she begins with a quote from David Moranis. I believe that life is chaotic, a jumble of accidents, ambitions, misconceptions, bold intentions, lazy happenstances, and unintended consequences. Yet I also believe that there are connections that illuminate our world, revealing its endless mystery and wonder. So Erin begins. It's a familiar scene each holiday. No matter how meticulously the strings of lights are put away, they always seem to come out a tangled mess. And what happens to them all through the year as they wait in their boxes? What happens? And so the tradition of untangling the light begins. We unwind them carefully, uncrossing the unlooping wires, stretching them out their full length, all the while being mindful not to damage the bulbs which hold so much potential. I find that people aren't that different. We often feel like a jumbled mess of string lights tangled up within ourselves, not knowing how to get undone or how to get back to our sparkly selves, especially when the holidays approach. Throughout the year, each struggle adds another tangle to the lights until by year's end, we're so wound up so tightly that we don't even know where to begin. Sometimes we need a little help to sort ourselves out. It's been said that it's easier to untangle a string of lights if you plug them in. The brightness of the little bulbs help to guide your fingers through the tangles. It's no different for people. Connecting with friends, family, therapists, or trusted advisors can shine a little light to help us untangle ourselves and to help stretch out to our full potential. Humans, just like a string of lights, are wired for connection. It's when we're wound so most tightly that we need the connection most of all. We're at our best when we are plugged into one another, when we find our true purpose and speak with others, not alone. It's in these connections that we shine most brightly. Please hear this prayer. Great and endless mystery and wonder, may you never stop giving us opportunity for connections that light the fire inside each of us. And may we never stop seeking and reaching out for connections with each other, even when we're so tangled and so wound and so tightly that we struggle to find the plug. May it be so.
The sun is shining, the grass is green, the orange and palm trees sway. There's never been such a day in Beverly Hills, LA. But it's December the 24th.
Our last selections of UU Christmas Heritage are upon us as we look into tonight's man of the hour, Santa Claus, as well as some other celebrated connections. Universalist Thomas Nast produced over 70 illustrations of Santa, beginning in 1863. It is from Nast that the world first learned of Santa's red suit, that he gives you coal if you've been naughty, and even that Santa, as a world citizen belonging to no single country, lives at the North Pole. Thomas Nast initiated the look and lore of Santa that continues today. President William Howard Taft was a dedicated Unitarian. In 1912, Taft's daughter Helen arranged to have a Christmas tree in the White House Blue Room, the first of what has since become a tradition. Helen received her master's in history and at the age of 26 was made a dean and soon after president of Bryn Mawr College. And though Jewish, Rod Serling always loved Christmas, maybe because his birthday was on December 25th. He became a UU while in college and later joined the Unitarian Community Church of Santa Monica. In the 1960s, he wrote several holiday episodes and specials, including his own modern take on Dickens called Carol for Another Christmas, and a touching Twilight Zone episode entitled Night of the Meek. Kwanzaa's founder, Dr. Maulana Karenga, was funded in part through money that the UUA had designated for efforts in support of Black empowerment in 1966. Drawing from traditional West African harvest celebrations, Karenga introduced practices he believed could strengthen the community, nurture a positive African American identity, and inspire wider Pan-African solidarity. Please join us for our next to the last hymn of the evening, number 255, There's a Star in the East. I'll ask Gary to play it through for us once, and I invite you to rise in body or spirit and sing both verses.
Deep peace, 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 deep peace of the
Now is the time to light those candles you are holding, and we'll turn the house lights down, please. We invite you to sing our closing hymn, Silent Night, Holy Night. Most of you probably know the tune, and we'll have the words up on the screen, so you don't have to hold your hymnals and your candles at the same time. The words in our hymnal and on the screen were adapted for our Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations, as we tend to do, so you may see a few words changed from the traditional carol. If the words in our hymnal don't match the words in your heart, feel free to go with your heart. We also ask you to remain standing at the completion of the hymn for the benediction. So now please rise in body or spirit. Light your candle using the switch on the bottom of the taper. I'll ask David Dean to return to extinguish our candles and our chalice. Tonight in this community, we have shared stories, sung carols, opened our hearts to the beauty of music. Tonight we have turned to one another, lighting each other's candles in the dark. Tonight we have dared to hear a message of hope spoken once again against the challenge of the world. It is now time to depart, to go forward to our lives and to the world. May joy be your companion, whether you are with others or alone. May love be your strength, and may the gift of community dwell in your heart, for here, in this place, you will be welcome always, whenever you choose, whenever you need. Amen. Blessed be. and Merry Christmas.